Thank you so much for joining me for this second class. This one's going to be centered around developing your balance. We are going to go ahead and get started lying down. I've not got any props with me for this class, so if you wanted to have some blocks or some block-shaped objects close by, sometimes that helps with balance, but often it's quite good to just feel into your own body, see what works for you, not push things too hard. And it's a really windy day today, so this one will be beginner friendly, but it's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge for me as well. So if you make your way down onto the back and just take a little moment to allow everything to settle. With balance, it's really important, first of all, to feel as relaxed as possible. So maybe starting by just allowing all the muscles through the face to just soften and release. All around the eyes, the mouth, all the places that you don't even realize hold on to tension. We don't need it there. And from here, we're going to take our focus to the very bottom of the back. So often it feels like there's a little gap there, right at the base of the spine. And if that's the case, we're going to push that point into the mat. So usually what you find is the front of the hips roll back and you've got to pull the tummy down. That's the thing that allows you to push down into the mat with the lower spine, okay? This is engaging your core, so every time you hear those words, you need to engage your core. This is what we're going to do. We're going to roll the hips back, pull the tummy in, and that's everything switched on. So from here, we're going to lift the feet and point the toes all the way up to the ceiling. And sometimes keeping the hands down on the floor is the thing that feels the best. If you tuck the hands just under your bum, that's going to give you a little bit of a lift, okay? So that makes this one feel a lot more possible. The next option is going to be to reach the hands all the way out in front, and that's going to give you that extra little bit of challenge if that's what you're looking for today. So from here, taking our focus back to that point on the very base of the spine, and as you inhale, we're going to slowly lower the feet, but only to a point that we can keep that lower back landed. So as you feel like it's starting to lift, that's where we're going to exhale, lifting the feet all the way back up. Here we go. Breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling all the way up to the top. Here we go. Breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling back up to the top. 3 more. Breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, inhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final round, exhaling all the way to the top, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we're going to draw the knees into the chest, taking a little rock from side to side. Once again, just allowing everything to slowly start to settle. So we're engaging the core and switching on all the muscles through the tummy, because this is going to be our balance center for all the big balance poses. So landing the soles of the feet, we're going to squeeze the glutes, pressing the hips forwards and up, lifting all the way up into bridge pose. So bridge is a really good way to find a little bit of a release across the front line of the body and all through the core. What you want to make sure is that you pull the knees together, and as you inhale, you really press the tummy all the way up and out, and then exhaling, lowering the hips all the way down. This time we're going to take the knees into the chest, taking the hands behind the hamstrings, and we're going to roll all the way up to a seated place. Perfect. From here, we're going to take the hands down in front, and we're going to meet in our tabletop. So we've got the hands under the shoulders and the knees back under the hips. From here, we're going to lift the left foot up, behind, and we're pressing that left heel away, okay? If you take the weight over into the left hand, we're going to reach the right hand long. And what we're looking for here is a straight line all the way from the fingertips across the back, along that back leg and out through the heel. Breathing in, reaching the hand and the heel as far apart as they go. And as you exhale, we're going to round the back, connecting the elbow and the knee. Breathing in, reaching long. Exhaling, compressing the tummy and connecting the knee and the elbow. One more time, inhaling, reaching long. As you exhale, connecting the knee and the elbow. And from here, we're going to keep the leg lifted, but we're going to take the right hand down. We're going to tuck the right toes. Breathing in deeply. Maybe this is where you stay for just another moment, or we've got the option to lift the right knee just a tiny little bit. One more deep breath here, and as you exhale, we're going to send that left foot all the way up into our three-legged dog. So sometimes coming up through downward facing dog first is the thing that makes it feel a little bit more possible. But when you're ready, meeting with that left foot lifted, and as you exhale, we're going to step the left foot all the way forwards. We're landing it in between the hands. Breathing in, elongating the spine, reaching back through the right heel. And when it feels possible, we're going to lift up into high lunge. So for all of these balance poses, the wider you base the feet, the more easy it's going to be to feel stable, okay? So mine are almost as wide as the mat here. And then when I lift, I'm going to take the hands all the way up overhead, sinking down into that left knee and reaching back through the right heel. Taking a little moment to allow everything to kind of settle into place, right? And from here, we're going to go for the big steps here, okay? So we're going to take that back foot all the way forwards and up, breathing in deeply first, and then as you exhale, we're going to lift the knee forwards and up. Inhaling, stepping the foot back to high lunge. As you exhale, we're coming forwards and up, and then inhaling, sending that foot all the way back. One final round. Exhaling all the way forwards and up, and from here we're going to see about taking the sole of the right foot, so the one that's lifted, to the inside edge of the left leg. So sometimes it stays here and we keep the hands on the hips, right? Sometimes that's the thing that feels the most possible. Sometimes it's a really wobbly day and you keep the toes on the floor. Perfect. Otherwise, we've also got the option to press the heel, wobbly up here on the roof, press the heel into the groin, taking the foot all the way up on the inside of the thigh. And maybe the hands come to cactus, right? Lifting the chest. Maybe you're someone who reaches the arms long, taking a deep inhale here, but we're in tree pose, okay? So it's usually a little bit of a wobbler, but it's a really great place to try and find a little bit of balance, okay? The more tension you hold through your body, the more possible it's going to feel. So often taking the palms to prayer, rolling the shoulders back, often that's that place where you can just allow everything to settle into place. When you're ready, we're going to keep the right foot lifted, but we're going to step it off of the inside of the left leg. And as you exhale, we're going to send that right foot all the way back. We're going to take the chest forwards. And maybe the palms stay in that prayer position at the chest, right? That's the one that we know helps us to find that little bit of engagement through the back and the shoulders. Maybe the fingertips come all the way down to the floor. Perfect place to try and find a little bit of balance, right? But when you're ready, we're going to land that back foot back down behind us. We're going to step the left foot alongside, rooting down through the hands, taking a deep inhale at the very top of your plank. As you exhale, we're going to lower all the way down, breathing in, lifting the chest, finding your way up into a variation of upward facing dog. And from here, we're going to take a little turn to the left, exhaling back to center, turning to the right, exhaling all the way back. And from here, we're going to lift the hips, tuck the toes, and then sending the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. Finding all those little pedals, wriggles and shuffles that make it feel a little bit more possible. And then from here, we're going to land the knees and we're back in our tabletop. So again, just allowing yourself to reset. So we're making sure we've got the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. And this time we're going to lift the right foot up behind. And we're pressing back through that right heel, right? And we're making sure the toes are turned towards the ground. It's really easy to realize they're turned out towards the sides, right? When it feels possible, we're going to take the weight over into the right hand. We're going to reach the left hand long. Taking a little moment one more time to just reach that left fingers as far forwards as they go. And we're pressing back through the right heel. As you exhale, we're going to connect the left elbow and the right knee. And then as you inhale, we're going to reach them long, squeezing the glute to keep that foot up. Exhaling, connecting, lifting the back. Inhaling, extending long. One final round. Exhaling, compressing along the tummy. Breathing in, reaching long. If we take the left hand down and keep the right foot lifted, we've got that option one more time to tuck the left toes, the ones behind. And then as you exhale, lifting the knee, one deep breath here. And with the next exhale, we're going to send that right foot all the way back and up into our three-legged dog. Or maybe meeting there, right? Taking all the steps that it takes. Breathing in deeply. And as you exhale, we're going to step that right foot all the way forwards, landing it in between the hands or thereabouts. Okay, so taking all those extra little wriggles and shuffles. Maybe finding that wider foot base, okay, because we know that's going to make it all feel a little bit more possible. Rooting down through the right foot, we're going to lift. Finding our way up to that variation of high lunge that feels the most possible here, okay? So maybe that's bending into the right knee and reaching that left heel back if that's the challenge that you're looking for. But we're going to go for the big step throughs. So inhaling first. As you exhale, we're taking that left knee all the way forwards and up. And then inhaling, sending the left foot back. Exhaling, lifting upwards. And then inhaling, reaching back with the toes, one final round. As you exhale, drawing that left knee up, finding the balance, and then taking the sole of the left foot to the inside edge of the right leg. So again, maybe this is where you stay, right? Finding the balance. You get to hold on to any objects close by, right? Sometimes that's the thing that makes it feel that little bit more possible. We can always lower the toes down to the floor, or that third option, drawing the heel all the way up into the groin, finding the balance wherever fits you best, okay? So sometimes it's here on one side, and it's somewhere completely different on the other side, right? This is my side, that's a little bit more steady. And we've always got one side where the balance feels a little bit more possible, okay? That's totally normal. You get to work on both sides anyway, right? So finding the place that works the best in your body, maybe taking the palms to prayer, maybe reaching the arms wide, feeling all the wobbles, and then when it feels possible, we're going to see about lifting the sole of the foot off of the leg. And as you exhale, we're going to take the left foot back and the chest forwards. And we're looking for a place where the chest is around about parallel to the floor, okay? If you squeeze the shoulder blades together, that usually helps keep the back nice and straight. And you want to really squeeze the left glutes to keep the foot lifted behind. And then when you're ready, landing that foot, taking the hands all the way down, stepping the right foot back alongside. We're going to take one deep breath at the very top of plank. As you exhale, lowering, breathing in, lifting to upward facing dog, lifting the chin. As you exhale, we're going to send the hips all the way back, resting the forehead down, finding your way down into child's pose. Sometimes this is where you stay, okay? Just allowing everything to relax. Sometimes a few little wriggles it takes to find your way down into the most comfortable variation. But when you're ready, we're going to reach the hands forwards, breathing in, lifting upwards, tucking the toes. And one final time, we're going to send the hips all the way back and up, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath here. And as you exhale, we're going to walk the hands all the way back towards the feet, bending the knees, taking hold of the elbows with either hand, and in the last little twist, tucking the chin and just allowing the head to hang. Then from here, we're going to lift the hands all the way up, reaching the fingertips up high, exhaling, folding forwards, taking the hands to the shins as you inhale, lifting the chest halfway, exhaling, bending the knees, landing the hands, walking them forwards, finding your way into plank, taking a deep breath here. As you exhale, we're going to lower, inhaling, lifting to upward facing dog, exhaling, taking the hips back towards the heels. We're going to take the feet out in front. If you take a little shuffle down, we're going to find our way back down onto the back, resting the head and the shoulders down, allowing everything to land. And from here, we're just going to take out a little bit of a stretch through the core. So if we start with that move right from the beginning of the class, we're going to draw the soles of the feet in towards the glutes. And if you squeeze the glutes, we're going to take a deep breath, pressing them forwards and up, all the way up to the very top, so that the shoulders sink down, and squeezing the inner thighs together to keep the knees inwards. As you exhale, we're going to lower the hips, and then as you inhale, pressing the hips forwards and up, exhaling to lower, inhaling, feeling that big expanse across the front of the tummy, exhaling to lower, and then finally bringing the knees into the chest, taking a little rock from side to side, making sure the lower back feels nice and relaxed. And then from here, we're going to lay the legs long and take a few moments to rest and connect to your own sense of self.